Good evening, everyone. I'm Tim Estilos.
And I'm Carol Paling. Welcome to a very special edition of WNDS News Up Front.
We are here at Spooky World in Berlin, Mass., one of the premier horror theme parks in the country. In fact, people come from all around to check this place out. And Carol, I'm frightened already.
Tim, you and about 15,000 other people that can come through the gates here every single night.
In fact, you can see just about everything from Tiny Tim to every kind of horror monster you can imagine. In fact, this place is so successful, it's scary. Ghouls, goblins, and ghastly graveyards. They're the stuff that screams are made of. And for the past 4 years, the screams have been especially loud around several acres of frighteningly fun countryside known as Spooky World. And just like Dr. Frankenstein, the creator of this popular horror theme park has discovered his brainchild has taken on a life all its own.
Last year we had a record-breaking crowd of 126,000 people, and this year it looks like we're going to be in the 200,000 range. I've been involved in the Halloween industry for the last 11 years, creating supplies for haunted houses. And finally, after 11 years of traveling throughout the country, decided that we should do this ourselves. We can create a better mousetrap, which we did here at Spooky World.
Bertolino hopes Spooky World will do for Halloween horror what Disney did for Mickey Mouse. But at this theme park, you can forget about finding anything cute or cuddly, and if it's warm and fuzzy, it's also likely to have 2-inch fangs and a bad attitude.
I think it's a fantasy. It's a wonderful escape. We appeal to 2 age groups, the younger crowd who comes here with their parents, and then we have the teenage and adult crowd that comes here late at night for the more horrific experience.
That experience includes everything from a hellish hayride not designed for the faint of heart,
behold, my creation lives! Could I have a volunteer for the next experiment?
to a frightening foray through a haunted house. Okay, we're getting ready to go in here. I'm not quite sure what we're going to find, but come on in. We'll see what happens.
I scare the yell out of you.
I'm not quite sure what's around this corner, but come on, let's check what's down this way. It's got cobwebs everywhere.
Flesh, blood, give to me! Give to me your blood!
Oh, this doesn't look so bad. It's just a nice little nursery, little baby crib down here. Take a look. I don't know where the baby is, though. Oh! Scared myself. Of course, if all that doesn't make your stomach queasy, you can get dangerously up close and personal with a live scorpion, or get all wrapped up with a 7-foot-long python. And if that's not scary enough, how about the return of Tiny Tim?
Killer tomatoes, attack! The killer tomatoes, they'll beat you, mash you, squish you, mash you.
Now, how difficult is it to put this operation together every year?
We open up our offices in January. We have a staff of 11 full-time promotional people that do our media promotions and sponsorship tie-ins. This time of year, we're up to 482 employees on staff on any given night.
And before dark each evening, most of those employees are hard at work getting made up to look their absolute worst before the first paying victim comes through the gate. And you can forget about getting that glamorous cover girl look, because here, scars and scabs are definitely in vogue.
This one right here, we're only doing just the front part of the face. We should usually do the whole head, and last night we did the full body pretty much. And this right here is only going to take about 5 more minutes. We've been working on it for about 20 minutes. And other ones, anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour they take for each makeup.
With so many people to make up each night, where do you come up with some of the ideas for all the different makeup?
We take things out of different movies that we've seen, or we just make up ideas. The actors get involved and create different ideas, and we just go for it. Every night's kind of different.
It's a huge jigsaw puzzle that comes together quite nicely, but it takes a lot of methodical, advanced planning. Probably one of the most difficult parts is coordinating the major celebrities. We have 17 major Hollywood horror celebrities that come here during the month and sign free autographs.
Last year, the crowd trying to get Elvira's autograph was jammed as tight as her wardrobe. Fortunately, there was a bit more breathing room for this year's crop of autograph hounds, and two of the more popular Poison Pen signatures came from the mother and daughter Scream Queen duo of Terry Lewindowski and Christine Cavaliere, whose horror film credits include such video classics as Zombie Night, Thrill Kill, and Night Stalker. What's the best part about being in movies together?
I think working out our frustrations, especially in the B-horror movies.
And in case you were wondering why they call them Scream Queens,
2, 3.
my ears will never be the same.
We've added on some tremendous additions to Spooky World, but the #1 addition is the American Horror Museum. That's a museum we've created through the efforts of 11 major motion picture companies and special effects houses. We have pieces in the museum from Nightmare on Elm Street, Razorhand Glove, Freddy Krueger's. We have the Jason hockey mask.
How many items of memorabilia do you have here from all the Hollywood movies?
Well, I don't have an exact count, but just about the majority of all the items throughout the museum are original pieces are from the original molds, as well as items from the estates of Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, Alfred Hitchcock. There's quite a bit to see in here.
Tim, what plans do they have next year for Spooky World?
Carol, I gotta tell you, David Bertolino certainly has his hands full. He has plans to open up another Spooky World in Minneapolis. Before he's through, he'll have these things all over the country.
Okay, well, we want you to stay tuned because
We've got a makeup artist that's so good, he really puts a scare in his customers.
welcome back to our special edition of Up Front here at Spooky World in Berlin, Massachusetts.
And we are here at the American Horror Museum, where they have scores of memorabilia from all kinds of horror movies throughout the decades.
Just over my shoulder, we have Freddy Krueger from Friday the 13th and Mike Myers' mask from Halloween. Tim, that was one of my favorite scary Halloween flicks.
In fact, I liked it so much I saw it twice. And you know, there's a guy down in Massachusetts who's making a name for himself in the makeup business. In fact, this guy is so good that when he makes you up, your own mother wouldn't recognize you. You could say he's the master monster maker of Massachusetts. Scott Andrews has made quite a name for himself in New England by creating scores of horrific creatures guaranteed to put some bite into your Halloween. And if you dare to step into Scott's basement workshop, you'll most likely come face to face with, well, some very frightening faces.
I've been doing it so long now that people don't mind it. It's just the kids. I get like relative nephews and nieces that won't come in the house into the cellar, and you know.
And judging from Scott's handiwork, you really can't blame them for feeling that way. He's an expert at creating monsters, masks, and makeup, guaranteed to make your jaw drop in amazement. But for every person that's frightened away by Scott's work, there's dozens of others who are just dying to sample his makeup magic.
The last few months, everybody calls wanting for their haunted houses and all this stuff across the country. I even send out, I got letters from Germany and Japan now. I'm starting to get people know about me that are calling, and it's real hectic.
Scott's created all kinds of masks over the years. Everything from a Freddy Krueger look-alike to a human pincushion. If it can be imagined, Scott usually can make it a reality. So what kind of masks do we have over here?
We have a Predator, who's Old Faithful. This is my own sculpting of it when the movie came out years ago, and a lot of people go crazy for the Predator. A lot of serious collectors into the Predator. That's a hot item. And yeah, this was a hot item too. Everybody wanted to be Arnold when all the Arnold movies are out.
So when a particular movie comes out, you get a lot of run on that particular kind of monster.
That's when we get the call for people wanting the mask, and a lot of people don't want to go with the Halloween store's mask. Most of them aren't the quality. Again, this is Jim Auger did this one, and on my design. And again, it'll take a day or two to sculpt it, and then it takes you another part of a day to paint it up. And it's not really that long. I mean, it looks involved and kind of crazy looking.
But Scott does more than just create masks. Remember this cute little guy from the movie Alien? Well, Scott can make one of those for you as well.
What it'll do is be inside of a shirt, be glued in, and then he's got little teeth that I'll glue into him and stuff. And I have a motor that I'll put in some of them that it'll move around. So it's it's a t-shirt, and it's actually an alien queen.
But making these creatures requires several special artistic skills.
If you can't sculpt, if you can't put it in the clay, because whatever you sculpt in the clay is what you get out. The painting's a big part of it too, to bring it to life. You know, the painting can sell a lot. You can have a lot of defects and the paint will hide it too.
Scott begins by first sketching out an idea on paper to map out all the details he plans to include on his creation. From there, he'll make a plaster life cast of the person who will wear the mask, so the eventual latex prosthetic will fit comfortably and securely.
From this, now I'll take and I'll put clay on it and sculpt it with the clay into whatever shape we want. From there, you change your shape, you bring in your eyes, you know, and I'll keep adding clay onto it as we go, and just to get our features. Then once I get my basic shape, I'll start using tools, all types of, I have an array of sculpting tools. Once you sculpted it, now you make another plaster mold that goes over this, fill that with foam, put them both together, and you pull it off, and you make yourself a foam prosthetic.
Scott has been working as a makeup artist for years, and he's continually worked at perfecting his craft ever since he was first bitten by the bug as a kid.
In everything you do, you've got to, you know, you should research and know everything that you're doing, especially when it comes to life casting, where you're taking a cast of someone's face. A lot of people will, you know, stick their head in a bucket of plaster. I've heard many horror stories with plaster on your face, which you don't do.
So this is something some people really should know what they're doing.
Right. Look, find out what you're doing before you do it.
Still, Scott is moving on to try new things with his art. He recently designed and built the body for an animatronic dragon set for display at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
To be profitable with masks, you have to be set up like an assembly line. You have to get them up, get them out, which you get real tired of it. So that I'm not crazy, but I love doing them, but I'm not crazy. I like doing the big animated creatures, you know, more of a one-of-a-kind, where it's more money, but it's more satisfying to you in the end. And it's not so repetitive because it takes a few weeks to make.
But makeup is still one of the things that Scott does best. So I thought I'd really put him to the test and see just what kind of makeup makeover he'd give me. And you know, when it was all over, I really felt like a brand new person. I think.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the scariest one of all? And they say television's a glamorous business. Oh.